See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Tallawah TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Ocean of the Messenger, and you're watching Tallawah TV with the host and best. So Davis, take it away.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Earl Bailey, Press Officer of the Jamaica Football Federation. And this morning we have the distinct pleasure, as me, you too, of speaking with the head coach, it's the new head coach, the old head coach, the new head coach of the women's national team, Mr. Vin Blaine. Welcome, Vin. Welcome back to the program.
Thanks, Earl. Good to be here.
Vin, in your own words, I mean, of course, you've been here before. You've worked with ladies of this quality, certainly, but this team is the biggest team that you're going to work with. Give us your impression. Talk to us.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be back, in the system. As you said, I've been here before, nothing new. And then you follow up by saying that these girls are different level, and so it's, to me, as far as my preparation goes to coach a team, it's the same. I have to know, no, my thing is to have them respect me, right? I have to earn their respect, not have them respect. I have to earn their respect that I'm capable of taking them to the World Cup. I have no problem with that. It's just a fact that I have to get to know them. My aim is to. I met with the coaching staff this morning. Basically, I've not named the coaching staff, but I met with the potential ones, and I plan to have a meeting with the girls this week or early next week. Definitely before the holidays, so to and introduce myself to them and get a feeling of where they are. So it's one of those. It's a journey that I'm looking forward to.
Right. I'm going to go straight into it. And what you do, ladies and gentlemen, you put your hands up, and I will acknowledge you as we go along. You know the drill. So I'm not seeing a hand yet. Are there no questions for? Oh yeah, great. All right, so we start with the lady. Why not? Karen Madden, you are first.
Thanks, Earl, and good morning. Good morning to my colleagues. Good morning, Coach. Joining Earl in saying welcome back to the women's national team. I have a few questions for you, for about three, and I'm just going to ask all three at the same time. Okay. First of all, you alluded to the fact just now that you have met with a coaching staff. Is it that you are going ahead with the coaching staff that worked with Busby, or are you naming new backroom staff?
I basically there's some changes, not many. There's some changes, but as a coach, I have to work with people who I'm confident with, and also I can trust, and I've worked with I've worked with most of these people before, so I'm comfortable with those that I've chosen. Sorry.
You're not ready to name them yet?
No, not yet, but soon, pretty soon.
Okay. My next question, Coach. How concerned are you that there has been no local league since before the pandemic, including a mysterious under 15, I think it was, tournament that we have not heard anything about? Seems like some issues took place which have been shrouded in secrecy. How concerned are you about the absence of a local league, and how do you plan to fix that? That's my second question. I have a third when you're done.
Yeah, Karen, let me tell you, I am very, very, very concerned. Even before I took the job, even before from days, from the original World Cup campaign, I was always, critical of the fact that we don't have a base where the likes of Khadija Shaw, Denisha Blackwood, Trudy Carter, Jody Brown, all those came through, and we have none anymore. I think we had gone through we had sacrificed our development to get to the World Cup. I think we moved away from that. So I'm very, very concerned. My role now is to come back and try to have discussion with the stakeholders and how we can get this back. I think we have to start with a vibrant school league again, and also do look at the league. Do we start with a senior team league or do we start with a junior league and move up? My take from 5 years ago, 6 years ago before I left Jamaica was to scrap, and I say it, I have some controversy, but you know, that's what life is about. But I had wanted to scrap the senior league and start with the junior program, like a under 20, and get it back up to where it used to be. But I'm really concerned, Karen.
Okay, you can count on me and my colleagues to hold you to that.
Definitely.
You mentioned controversy, and my final question is slightly going into the arena of controversy.
Mm-hmm.
When you were director of football, you were very public in talking about the face of the league and the perceived or overt sexuality of the players. And I'm asking within the context of many of the top players in the world are openly gay. I can think of Megan Rapinoe, Pernell Harder, Magda Eriksson of Chelsea. So I want to find out from you, are you still at that place where you are concerned about the perceived or otherwise sexuality of the women that you will coach?
Karen, I'm probably glad you asked a question at this time because that was an unfortunate um, article. That was never, those things were never said by me. I have never, ever, I've coached girls, 12 years I've been coaching females. I've never, ever condoned anyone's sexual choice. I've never condoned, and any girl that is in a national program, if we can do interviews with them right now, they have never heard from me saying I'm opposed to their lifestyle. I always say to them, I can't mandate your lifestyle. The only thing I want from you when you come to the national program is to play football and follow the rules of the camp. I choose players based on their nationality and their ability. If they can play for Jamaica because they have the requisite documents, I bring them in. I used to go to the US. I go to Canada and I recruit players. I never one day question their sexuality. Never ever. That was an unfortunate article. I had to clear myself with FIFA and CONCACAF regarding that article. I just send them information and show them that I never said that. Because at the time, what I did was to send, when the article came out, I asked the reporter to let me see the article before he published it. Fortunately, I did. And when I saw the content, I wrote back to him and said, I never said those things. Please to take them out. And I don't know what happened in his thing, and he went ahead and did it. And that was very unfortunate. I've never taken a position like that. Never, ever, never will. I don't want to get into the details of what happened afterwards, but I had to clear myself with CONCACAF. I had to send them my evidence that I never said those things. And because they had at the time, FIFA and CONCACAF came up with a diversity program. And I am a FIFA instructor and a CONCACAF instructor. So their thing was, how could I be saying these things if I'm with their program? So I had to send information to them, Karen. So that was cleared up, but I can tell you definitely that wasn't from me. The article was there. I gave an interview, but what was said some of the things that were said about that never came from my mouth.
Okay, coach. Thank you.
You're welcome, Karen.
All right, let's go to Daniel Wheeler.
Coach, this is Daniel Wheeler from the Gleaner Sports Desk. Congratulations on the appointment. I have two questions for you. One, given your familiarity with the program and the amount of players that you've brought into that made up the 2019 World Cup qualification cycle, do you feel more at ease that you'll be able to hit the ground running immediately because of the familiarity with the players? And the second question is, given the sort of circumstance regarding your appointment and the suspension of Busby, what is the culture that you want to create, not just with the team, but in the program in the short time that you have before the qualifiers?
Let me answer the first question. Yes, I'll definitely be more comfortable. I've already started to speak to some of the girls that I recruited, and you're right. I think 70% of the young ladies that went to the 2019 World Cup were recruited by me, and also were trained by me locally. So I'm comfortable. I've had I had a conversation with Khadija already, Khadija Shaw. I've had a conversation um, with Chinelu Asha, two of the persons that are in the program that I've been familiar with before. As far as the situation with culture going into the program, my culture is football and coaching, right? I don't get into, the first thing I say, I don't get into the politics of what happened. On Busby's situation is unfortunate. I'm not trying to push him out of the way. He did a good job with recruiting these current players. I have to give him that. I'm not here to say what he was doing was wrong or right. It's a continuation for me. And it's the same way I'm going to approach when I speak to the girls. It's not about what Busby did or what he didn't do before. It's about how can we move forward in unity and get to the World Cup, which I'm 100% certain they can do.
Good. And coach, just to follow up from that, because obviously you're concerned about getting to the World Cup. What kind of in the environment what kind of environment that you want to foster, with the girls, with the coaching staff, to make sure that it's not just a competitive environment, but a good working environment that all the players and staff can be comfortable with.
Danny, you kind of answer yourself right there, in the sense of the environment that I want to create. And the working environment, I went over that with the coaching staff this morning, potential coaching staff this morning prior to this meeting. And that's one of the areas. One of the areas that bothered me in the past, and I have to ensure that we take care of that, is the communication lines. In the past, I saw on the TV, in the printed media, about this coach saying this about the JFF, and the coach saying about that, and the players having a difficulty with certain things and expressing themselves. That is definitely one of the areas I want to shore up. The communication line must be through me and not from a player to the media, and the coaches can't influence. It can't happen in my camp. I already told them that this morning. We can't go to the players with negativity about the association, the federation. We can't. It must come in a meeting from us. We know the concerns already. Then we go to the FA with one voice. It can't be that we have people saying this to the media, saying that to the media, and expressing themselves. We want the girls, I want the girls, and we want the girls to concentrate on the game. That's their job. Concentrate on the game. If they have issues with the JFF, it's for me to hear them to the JFF, represent them. So I'm on the fence, I'm actually an employee, but I also have to take the girls' concerns into consideration. How do I handle that? And the only way we can handle it is to do it in a way where we are not alienating anyone, right? JFF is our employers. Yes, the JFF, as I said to the president and the general secretary, I don't expect the JFF to be 100%. I've worked in different MAs, and I know definitely that all have problems. It's how we handle it that makes a difference. And my concern, Daniel, is to ensure that the girls don't get involved with that.
That's coach.
All right, you're welcome, Dan.
Yes, Mr. Bailey. Yes, coach. Afternoon, coach. Morning, afternoon. Congratulations, coach. Just tell me first about, coach, if you see this in any way as a continuation of where you left off, picking up where you started, and what was the focus basically for the girls when you left the program, and do they go with what you have in mind now?
I love you. Nice to hear from you. The continuation is one thing. A continuation of the way I project myself as a coach and the values that I bring to the program, right? I don't know. I can't speak for what happened before. I was never there to see what the coaching staff was doing, but I know there are certain values I bring to the program. It's a different level now. When I was there, we had mostly local-based players. When we tried, 2006 we went to playoff for the World Cup. If the format was as it is now, we'd have gone to the World Cup from 2006. And that squad was 90%, local-based players coming out of our leagues. So it's a difference now. We are now having the players that I've seen that have been recruited are professional players. So the expectation level is a little higher. How we handle that will make the difference. I, as a person that has been in charge of associations in the Caribbean, have to work at a different level. But my coaching approach will ensure that they're coming back to a level where they're used to. So I have to earn their respect as far as that is concerned. But I have no doubt that I will earn their respect.
Next question, coach, is in the last few matches with the super teams of the region, Canada, USA, we haven't fared too well. And it has been a situation that has persisted from in the past. Have any ideas of how you plan to bridge the gap, or how you will go about bridging the gap between us and these teams, especially now we have to face them in the final phase of the qualifying?
It's a concern of mine from I've been watching the team. And let me qualify something first. The team that played against Costa Rica recently have not played against the USA really. Because what the coaching staff before, what Coach Busby was doing is he was doing his sort of a assessment of the players that he has. So you find that in the US game, he had a different squad. In the Nigeria game, he had a different squad. In the USA game, he had Costa Rica game, he had a different squad. So it's hard to judge how they would have matched up against USA if they had these present girls now that came from the USA who have been playing professionally, how they would have matched up. So it's kind of hard to say, they did badly against this because, in the past, the US team probably would give the last time we played a Costa Rica team, I think we got something like 11-0 back when. They're still competitive. What I've recognized, Livy, is that defensively, we don't have bad players, but our organization was poor. And I would say that if I was to criticize the past coaching staff, was that I don't think our girls were playing defensively well. And that's the area I want to show up first. And you're not qualified to it. It has nothing to do with individual players. Okay, let me make that clear.
So you definitely think you can bridge this gap if implement get the team to be more organized defensively? Is that what you're saying, for?
Yeah, I think so. And I think if we improve our speed of play a bit, reading the games in the different areas of the field, what we do in the different areas of the pitch. Because USA don't come in any secrets, They play one way and that's it. It's for us and me as a coach now to identify those areas and see how best we can counter them.
All right, I think that is it for me, coach.
Thank you, Scotty.
Right,
let's move to Crystal Davis from London, the Voice newspaper.
Good morning, all. Coach, we've already touched on these separate questions. I think I have 3 questions in total. I was hoping maybe we could go in depth if possible. How do you plan on mending the lack of transparency and inconsistent support between those at the top and the girls? Recently, particularly this year, we've been told that the girls will be in training camp. As with previous years, training camps get cancelled and the girls are left in the dark.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question there, and my thing is, as I think I touched on it before, and we in my meeting this morning with my staff, I discussed that, and those are things that has come out in the open, that it should be an internal decision. Camps should be arranged and confirmed before it goes out into the public. That will eliminate some of those happenings and those doubts. So it's hard. And to your question, what I intend to do, and I've started already, is not to let the conversation goes between players, staff, until it is confirmed with myself and the association and the federation. Because a lot of times it's speculation. Somebody might have mentioned that, oh, we're going to have a camp. And it goes to the players from the coaching staff without it being confirmed with the JFF. And that's a wrong way of communication. It has to come from the JFF, confirmed to the coaching staff, and then they can relate to the players. I think those the other way around. When the staff was telling the girls that they're going to have a camp, the girls are planning for a camp, and the Jamaica Football Federation never agreed to that type of arrangement. So I think, as I said in my things, communication is one of the things that I'm going to be concentrating on, right? We have to have a line of communication that will have no gray areas, that these things will happen again. And that's my way of going about it. I have to be the one that we challenge the Jamaica Football Federation. We come to an agreement with them. So when it gets out there, when I put it in there, it must be something that's not with the federation, not with us, that causes us not to have the camp. Maybe like a COVID situation or something that happened that the girls cannot make it. But I love the question because it's something that is true to my heart, and it's something that I spoke about this morning. Yeah, man. Okay, thank you. I hope that answers you.
Yes, thank you. I have 2 more questions, please. And guys, I'll try to make my questions quick. Being that you are familiar with the core players in the team, can you kindly share the formula that will enable you to integrate more homegrown players into the squad? And the lovely Karen Madden's already touched on this briefly.
Crystal, I at the moment, it will be foolhardy of me to bring local girls that are not prepared, not ready. We have none, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'm seeing. So the bringing of local players will be an ongoing process. I don't see it happening for this World Cup, but I see it happening for the next World Cup and other areas that we'll be participating in, other tournaments, I should say. But it's hard. As Karen rightly said, and Karen asked a question because she knows full well that there's nothing happening here. And it's a concern of mine, as I said before. And the only way we can bridge that gap is to get our local players back to be playing consistently and get their scholarships and go. Just like how Khadija Shaw and Jody Brown and all of them did, right? So it's going to be very difficult. I can't say I'm going to bridge the gap right away, but I plan to bridge the gap.
And finally, the captain's armband has been passed around over the last few games. Who is your confirmed captain and your vice captain, being that you know the girls so well?
That's a difficult question. That's a question that you know cricket, right? So I'm batting carefully. So that's a bouncer, and I'll go down for that. But it's the captaincy. Sometimes captaincy is but not sometimes. It's the coach's decision, and a lot of times they pass it around to see who they think is more capable of being a captain. I have someone in mind, but it has to be that the person is capable of being an on-field and an off-field leader. So I will make that decision. It's kind of hard for me to make that decision now.
Is it possible to have a hint as to who that person is?
Yeah, he's one of the players.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. I think Vin made that very, very clear, crystal clear, who's going to be. All right, let's move now to Robert Williams from the big station, RFM.
Thank you very much, Earl. And good morning to each and everyone. Coach Blaine, congratulations. And I like your background. It looks kind of orchardous.
Someone asked me just now, I tell him it's my vacation home. I wish it was.
Well, I joined the conversation late, so I'm not sure if anybody would have asked this question. Mm-hmm. Simple one. Have you ever been disconnected from this national female football program?
Never, ever. I might not be there physically, but I was always there emotionally, and I follow. I've never missed. If I miss a game because I can't find it on the internet or something, but my my connection to the team based on the fact that I have a lot of girls that came through my hand from a young age, and also girls that I recruited. So I was always in connection with the team.
Thank you very much, Coach.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Robert. Let's go back to Karen. She has been having her hand.
No, thanks, Earl. Sorry, colleagues. I just wanted to clarify something, Coach. Hi, Crystal. Let me just say hi to Crystal real quick. But I just also wanted to clarify something you said in response to Daniel's question about players speaking with the media. Are you saying that players will not be allowed to give interviews? I just wanted a point of clarity.
Good on that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the controversial issues should not go out in the public. I'm one that always believe that we should air our dirty laundry amongst ourselves, and then we go with one voice. I've seen where it has almost destroyed the program before. An interview with a player should be, how was the game today? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Not about what the JFF not doing and what could be done better. That's not their responsibility. That's all I'm saying. You can call them a Karen and have an interview, but it's not. They must understand that interview, when it gets to a certain point, must be referred to the media person or to the coach, not controversy.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
When is your first training camp ahead of the February window?
We are trying. The general secretary I guarantee that we could get a training camp before, but based on the playing schedule of the girls, I know that the English-based players can't come until the 14th. I wanted to start on the 10th for them to arrive on the 10th, the other players to arrive on the 10th. Those who are not involved in games in that period to arrive on the 10th. We start a training camp on the 11th, and we'll be joined by the overseas-based players on the 14th.
That's February you're talking about. That's February you're talking about. February.
Yeah, because there's no other window open now, Karen, that we can say take them from their teams, and you know that we're ready.
Coach, thank you, Karen. Coach, there will be a couple of girls, I think, in the colleges. Will you get the collegians to be a part of the World Cup squad and actually play? Because over the years we have had problems with the men coming to play in season.
Yeah, we fortunately a February time with not that bad for colleges. Normally they play off in August. As long as the girls are capable of making the team or even have the ability to, and we can call them in a camp. I have 38 names that I inherited outside of and those include the ones that I've known a long time ago. I have to go with that list based on the fact that I'm just coming in. And I have never wanted to say, let's see if I can reinvent the wheel. I want the best players. I want the team that I saw that played against Costa Rica is a good team, a very good team. I can safely say, and I've been coaching, from 2005, I had a team. I think this is one of the better teams I've seen tactically and the football intelligence. I think I'm just watching them. I can't wait to get them in camp and see what they're capable of doing otherwise.
Daniel, back to you.
Yes, Coach. Just two quick questions. First one, given your assessment of how the team has performed since they came back, do you feel that you have enough to clear the first round hurdle that starts in February? That's the first question. And the second question is how would you assess, Khadija Saw's first season so far in England? And the Guardian newspaper had her ranked number 50 this year among the top 100 women's footballers in the world. I just wanted to get an assessment of how she has adapted into England this year, and how much do you feel that she'll be able to translate what she does in England to help you for the Jamaica national team?
Well, Daniel, what a lot of people don't know, that Khadija Shaw is a fantastic midfield player, That's where she started out. And she was converted to a forward, right? No, she leaving France and going into a new environment, sort of a different approach to the game. I think she did well. She's now sharing role with another forward there. So she's not going to get the amount of playing time that she normally would have gotten someplace else. But she's quite happy. I spoke to her, she's quite happy. She's been mentored by Raheem Sterling, so our own Jamaican. So I didn't expect her to come in and just make a bang right away, but I think she has held her own and she's doing quite well. As far as was the first question? I'm trying to remember the first question.
So the first question was given what you've seen from the team since they returned to competitive play this year. Do you feel that you have enough currently to get through the first round of qualifiers?
Well, that's our goal. Our goal is to get to the first round of the qualifiers. But in my coaching and approach, I'm preparing them for the second round. Because if I prepare them for the second round, they'll do enough to get to the first round. I believe, right? And I could probably say I know we'll get to the first round, but I don't want to really go there yet. Our aim is to keep the first round in focus and not to burden ourselves with what the second round is about. Why? We don't know who we're going to meet in the second round. So our goal right now is to concentrate and get into the top of this first round. We have 4 games, and we have to win all 4 games. That's it. We're not drawing in the game. We want to win all 4 games. Once everything goes well, God's willing, we can get the team, the players that we want, right? I think it should be okay.
Cheers, Coach. Thank you.
You're welcome, Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel. Let's move now to Sheridan Cowan from the Jamaica Observer.
Morning, everyone. Afternoon now. Coach, welcome back.
Thanks, Sheridan.
Just 2 quick questions. I noticed you said you were never disconnected from the program. First one, just to confirm, are you looking beyond the World Cup qualifiers?
Well, any coach will say yes. And I'm saying yes in a sense. But not looking, when I say look forward, I'm projecting. That's our goal. Our aim is to go to New Zealand and Australia. That's our aim. If I wasn't focused that way, I shouldn't be here. But in saying that, I have to take it step by step. I can't overlook Bermuda, Cayman, Grenada, right, and Dom Rep. I can't overlook them. My first goal is to get by them. So that's exactly what. Pick a good squad, win every game, and then I can settle back, and now me and the coaching staff can now sit back and look at how we're going to approach the games going forward, because then we'll know what group we are in, who will be in the group. What I was saying to you, we will wish for a good draw. Because in one group you're going to have 2 seeded teams, and so we are 3 seeded teams. So we have to ensure that we get a good draw. Not ensure, but we're hoping that we get a good draw going forward. Some luck with us. Not that I'm saying we can't beat those teams, but every coach wants a good draw.
All right, thanks for that, Coach. I was more referring to your stay with the program on this occasion. I noticed JFF said it was for an interim. It's an interim role for now. What I'm saying is, are you looking to stay with the program long term in this occasion?
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. If the federation sees it, fit for me to go forward, then I'll be here. I remember I left the job to come here. I resigned my work to come here and join the team. So the federation sees fit for me to go forward with the team based on my success or lack thereof. Then that's it. I'm quite fine with that.
All right, cool. Second one, a few players who were crucial to us qualifying in 2019 would have stepped away from the program for one reason or another. One in particular is Toriana Patterson. I know you will be familiar with her. Have you been in touch with players like those? And the reason why I asked if it was long term, I'm looking beyond qualifiers. Will you be looking to bring those players back into the fold?
Well, if the players, Torian Patterson, I recruited, right? Chinlu Asha I recruited Chang. She never made it. I did not contact them while they were playing for the World Cup qualifiers, nor for present coaches. I don't think it was it's not ethically correct for me to contact players and ask them anything about the coaching staff or what they're doing. I stayed in touch with people like Khadija Shaw, that I was close to, But no, I can't say if I was to say I'm bringing them back, that means I'm saying that they're better than the rest. They'll be treated just like everyone else. If they are good and they're still playing, and they can come into it to look at them again, by all means, they'll be invited.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Coach.
Yes. Yeah, okay, sure.
All right. Thanks, Sheridan. Just want to welcome, of course, Mrs. Elaine Walker-Brown. I see her on the call. Elaine, of course, Elaine's name goes synonymous with women's football in Jamaica. A lot of respect for Elaine Walker-Brown. But let's go back to the media, and that's Mr. Scott again. Talk to us.
Yes, Coach. Just here mention about having the players available for the first camp. Almost not having the players will affect you trying to forge the team that you will probably be looking at or having in mind for the upcoming first stage of qualification.
Well, the plan is to invite the current players. As I said, some of the current players, don't be all. I have 38 team names written down. We can't get 38. I'm going to be trying to push for 24 at least for the camp. I don't know. I can't see any problems with it. If they're okay, I'm just about certain they'll come. I'll be meeting with them sometime this week, and I will understand any problems they might be facing, any challenges that might be facing, and the concerns they might have. As I said, I had preliminary talks with a couple of the senior players, and they voiced some concerns, and I've addressed those already with the general secretary, and it is already cleared up. As far as the team coming in, normally when you have a senior team, you never normally, and they're playing overseas. It's kind of hard. It's going to be hard to get them for days unless we have a window. So it's not easy for us to say, okay, we're going to get them for 2 weeks. It won't go be like that unless they are during the break. But right now, I think these girls are playing at that level that all I will have to do is manage them properly for them to get through this round, and then we'll have a period of time now to go to the qualifiers.
Thanks to Vin Blaine for joining us. Vin, that's about 40 minutes. Normally, press conferences are not that long, but you're being presented to the media, presented to the public, so therefore it's important that we keep you for a while. And we're happy to have you back. You have a fantastic team that you're going to work with, and we look forward to seeing everybody cheering on a team in New Zealand next year.
Definitely. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed it. As I said, I'm looking support from everyone. I think the team is a fantastic team. As I said, Busby did a good job. Coach Busby did a good job in bringing in players. All I have to do is bring my own personality to it and what I have to bring to the coaching table. And we're going to go to the World Cup. That's the ultimate goal, World Cup.
Thanks, Vin. Thanks to all the media members who joined us today. Just in case I don't get a chance to link up with you again before Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a big football year next year. Thank you.